So a lot of people are really enduring a lot right now with the virus, how it is affecting the economy. A lot of people have lost their jobs. People have been furloughed with their jobs. You know, unemployment claims is shot through the roof throughout the country. And people depend on the theme parks for employment. Well, in Orlando, you know, they had scenes of people where they had a half-mile line of cars waiting for the food bank to open because the theme park shut down and they put thousands of people out of work. So they said just weeks ago, they said the snaking hour-long lines is packed with thrill seekers as they eagerly waiting to turn to the world famous rides and attractions. Now hundreds of families are flocking to a church parking lot across town from Orlando's iconic resorts and theme parks just for a meal. Okay. So it's horrible. It's horrible what people are going through. And once again, this country has not responded correctly. Now, our neighbor, Canada, is giving their citizens $2,000 per month while this thing is going on. Our country, what did they decide to do? Give you $1,200. Married couples, $24, if you make a certain amount. I think, and that's a one-time thing. That is not a, hey, while this thing is going on, let me make sure to keep money in our people's pockets so they can feed their families. $2,000 a month is what they're giving. Now, you say, why did he come up with $1,200 a month? Well, one time, I'm sorry, not a month. Let me correct myself. That is calculated at minimum wage at 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week, that times 4 rounds up by to $1,200. That's where they get that from. Do you think people really can live off of $1,200 in a month? I mean, seriously. I mean, but this government don't care about us like that. They really don't. And the thing is, as black people, we know this. We haven't had no bailouts. At least they send us some money, because black folk don't even get that kind of help whatsoever. So they're saying that food banks across the state have been forced to close. They said because the risks of being exposed to the virus. They said they developed a system akin to a drive-through. Okay. So they said this one lady reached the front of a 50 vehicle column stretching 5 suburban blocks. This woman named Glenda said popped the trunk of her Ford Taurus without getting out of coming 6 feet of the church's disaster team. She said it's just a blessing from God that he still provide for us either way. It says a certified nurse's assistant who was forced to give up her job to stay home with her kids. And that's another thing that's going on. People having to quit their job to stay home with their kids because they're out of school right now. A lot of people depend on their kids to go to school so they could pick them up in the evening and continue to work. And now people are out of work because of that as well, not just because their job fired them. Okay. So they're saying that they can load up about 100 cars an hour and will keep doing it, much as possible. But they said that was the most in history, more than double the 3.1 million estimate, and estimates 10 million people who have filed for unemployment benefits in the past 2 weeks. So this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, people are hurting with this, and our government still haven't solved that issue or problem yet. See, America is being tested, and all these people that walk around acting like they're better than other people and looking down on people because of the color of their skin and all that. See, this Rona is equalizing everybody. Everybody getting on the same playing field. And one thing about us as black people, we know how to survive with nothing. We know how to make $1 out of 15 cents. We know how to stretch food. We know. Now, some of us may not know because some of us have been too integrated into the system. So some black folks are no different than, than folks. But those of us who have those skills, we'll be okay. And then some of you who want to learn, you can learn as well, because that's the thing we always done growing up. But I feel for every family out there right now who having to walk away from a job, stay home with your child or children, going to pick up food for them to eat. This is unheard of in America. This is very unheard of. But eventually, you know, Rona will be over with. But even when Rona's over with, there's still going to be some, definitely some big issues going on afterwards, because this financial effect is not going away when Rona runs its course. I mean, you have places like SeaWorld furloughing 90%. And when they furlough you, they basically give you 0 hours, okay? 0 hours. So it's very bleak right now for a lot of people. And, you know, I really hope that this thing can go away soon, much sooner than later, so people can get back to work. We can get back to some normalcy. But, you know, how would a lot of people survive if they come out April 30th and say, well, we need to have the country shut down until May the 30th? I mean, could people deal with that? What if they come out again and say, well, we need to do it to June 15th? They don't know. They can't give a definite date. Listen, when you have a definite date, you can say, okay, I can hunker down for this long. But then some people can't do that. I mean, right now, some people say, man, I got to do something because I can't sit at home this long. I mean, man, because, you know, most Americans live paycheck to paycheck anyway. They one paycheck away from being homeless. Then you got landlords that's saying, hey, well, I still need my rent. You know, I mean, I got my bills to pay. So, I mean, it's just a mess all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. It is a mess. But it's crazy. Like I said, we will keep reporting the stories as we get them. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation going on in Orlando and that footage, you know, that we played. Oh, man, that is crazy just to see that. And I was in Orlando myself, maybe about a year or so ago, and to see all that going on right now in Orlando, wow, it's amazing.